Good day, viewers. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In our previous video series, we measured different types of roof, ranging from monopitch, gable roof, and also measured hip and valley roof. So, in today's video, we are going to measure that concrete work that usually extend beyond the building. That this particular concrete work is used in placement of our concrete fissure. Implement of our fissure board. So it's called concrete fissure. It's called concrete fissure. But some people usually call it parapet. Parapet. So I want us to quickly check. Let's quickly browse through the internet and check what's the actual name for this concrete work. Let's check. Okay, so here I have three results. Yes, I have three results here. My first search here is parapet in building, and from the result here, this is what I saw online. So that is a low wall or barrier that extends upward from the edge of a roof, balcony, or terrace to serve as a protective barrier and for aesthetic purpose. So that's what I saw. In most cases, when we say parapet, this word alone, parapet, what you'll be referring to here is a wall, just a wall, like something like this, parapet, this wall, parapet, when you say parapet. But I think when you say roof parapet, I don't know, let's check what we have here in this video for roof parapet. Oh, my sort is bad. But I have another search here. What I searched here is concrete fissure, and as you can see, we have that image all over here. The right name for that concrete work that you have just below your roof is called concrete fissure. Concrete fissure, that's the right word. As you can see, you have the video of that particular concrete work all over this particular search result. Okay, so let's go back to our measurements. Let me close this. So, like I said, in today's video, we are going to measure this particular concrete work. So, we have this concrete work just below our roof. Just below our roof. That's the last concrete work before the roof itself. And this is used in place of our normal wood fissure, our fissure board, or aluminium fissure board, as the case may be. So, this is used in place of that. This is like a model, should I say, new, how I won't put it. This what is usually used these days in placement of our normal wood fissure, our fissure board. So we're going to measure this and everything that have to do with this, except the finish. We're going to measure the finish when we get to measurement of finishes. So, but we're going to measure every other thing. We're going to measure the concrete work, the reinforcement, and the form work. Those thick black dots you can see here in this video, they are the reinforcement, and this is the stirrup. I think we have two stirrups here. We have this stirrup and this other stirrup in the roof beam, because this is more or less like the roof beam, while this is the concrete fissure itself attached to the roof beam. I told you guys in our previous video that henceforth we'll be using this plan, because I think this plan, it has what I actually need. Yes, so I will be using this plan. One thing I want us to I want to call our attention to is that you see this particular concrete fissure. You only have this concrete fissure on the external part of the building, on the external part, just the way you have your wooden fissure board on the external part of the building. So we have this on the external part of the building, as you can see from this plan. Yeah, as you can see here. So we have it on the external part of the building. This is the concrete fissure, concrete fissure, concrete fissure. We have that on external part of the building. So let's go back to our drawing. We're going to measure this on this drawing. How are we going to measure this? There is no special plugin for this. We are going to measure this with the aid of our basic measurement tools on PLANSWIFT. The aid of basic measurement tool on PLANSWIFT, and it will take time. It will take time. I don't know, with time, I develop plugin for measuring this. But one thing with it is that whenever you develop plugin, your plugin must be flexible to the extent that it will different designs be able to fit in, because there are different design of concrete fascia. This is just one of several concrete fascia designs. There are a lot of designs. From concrete fascia will be like flat this way, not with this with this pronounced curve here. You see some concrete fascia will be flat, more or less like a flat concrete extending beyond the wall, and it maybe probably little design like a step like design like that. So let's quickly measure our concrete fascia. The first we're going to measure here is the concrete, because we all know concrete is measured in meter cube. Concrete is measured in meter cube. So I'm going to measure this concrete with the aid of our area tool. I'm going to use our area to measure this, but the first thing I'm going to do now is to cross-check this dimension to be sure that this dimension is correct. I don't know if the dimension that was used for this plan and this, I'm not sure if they are the same, or I don't know if they are the same. They can't be the same. They are not the same. So I'm going to dimension this separately, and I'll dimension this separately. So what I'm going to do now, because I need the this building perimeter, because what I actually want to do now is that I'm going to make use of our area to trace the area, the concrete area here. I'll keep that aside. Then I'll now multiply that area by the perimeter. And that will give me the value in meter cube, which is the value of concrete that is required that's required for constructing this particular concrete work here called the concrete fascia. So in doing that, if you look at this dimension now, look at what we have from this point to this point is 450. 450, and this distance is like, I don't know how to put it. This distance is much compared to what we have here. The distance from this point to this point is like, the distance from this point to this point is 5 point something. From this point to this point is 3.6, and this 3.6 is almost same as what we have here. So if we should dimension this plan and we use that to measure this area, what we have here, and it will be too much. And if you dimension this particular section of the concrete fascia, and we use that same dimension to measure the perimeter that is needed from this plan, and it will be too small. So what I'm going to do here is, since they didn't use the same scale for both drawing, I'm going to duplicate this drawing. I'll measure my perimeter on one of the drawing, and I'll measure every other thing I have to do with this particular concrete fascia on this second drawing. So let's quickly measure. I'm duplicating now. Click on this, copy, paste. Let's see what we have. Okay, so we have two of that now. Foundation plan one, and this will be foundation plan 2. Foundation plan 2. Okay, so let's dimension let's scale this using this plan itself. So I want to measure the perimeter on this. Let's make use of this dimension 6.75. 6.75. That's dimension from this point down to this point. And let's look for a horizontal dimension, a long one. Okay, let me make use of this 4.35. 4.35. 4.35. And lastly, I'm going to cross check what I've scaled, if it is accurate, if it is right or not. Okay, I think we are good. We are good. So this is what I was saying the other time. Let me see. We've dimensioned this particular plan now. Whatever I'm going to measure on this particular plan, it will be correct. It will give us the right answer. But coming to this, the concrete fissure, let me check this dimension out. You will be shocked. Yeah, okay. You can see the result of this dimension here is 2.89 meters, which is far greater than what we have here. So that's why we can't dimension one and use it for the other. So we have to like duplicate the plan, measure one on one plan and measure the other on the other plan. Let dimension our other plan. I'm going to delete this. Okay, so on this plan now, I'm going to scale this plan using this. I don't need this on this plan. My scale here will be 0.45. While my scale here will be 0.15. Oh, I'm coming. Let's even cross check the dimension for scaling. Let's go check dimension for scaling. Wow, too much. Ah, too much, too much. Because the side of the wall here is 150. The side of this wall is 150, and the side of our beam, it can be greater than that of the wall. Okay, so we have to dimension this too. Let me delete this. Before then, let me cross check this dimension. Let me put on my snap and okay, scale 0.15. 0.1 to use the text height. Now let's first check our dimension. Correct. Correct. So now we're good to go. Let's measure our concrete fissure. I'm going to create a folder, a subfolder under our superstructure folder. Or should it be part of the roof? No, that is part of superstructure. So I'm going to create a subfolder under superstructure folder, and I will name that folder concrete fissure. So I'll have all my measurements in that folder. I'll save them in that folder. Concrete, concrete fissure. Where is that folder? It's here. So I want this to be under my not roof, under superstructure. I'm coming. Let me close this. Okay. Concrete fissure. Now let's measure the concrete work. I'll need the perimeter. I'll need the perimeter. I can't measure the perimeter on this because I dimensioned this. So I'm going to measure my perimeter on the other plan. Let's quickly measure the building perimeter on this plan. I want to measure that with the aid of our linear tool, and building perimeter. On that particular measurement, I'm not going to use this directly, but I want to use it as a value. So that will be under our where is it? Superstructure concrete fissure. We have our center line cut here. I want to trace that center line cut. Just trace the external part of the building. External part of the building. Yeah, we're almost done. Okay, I think escape. With this, we're done with measurement of the perimeter. Let's go back to our drawing and measure our concrete. The concrete work in the concrete fissure. I want to measure that with the aid of my area tool. Area tool, and I'll name this concrete. Concrete. That will be under the same folder. So I'm going to trace this area. You can also divide this way. You can measure this as the roof beam. Then you now measure this as the what's it called? The concrete. Should we do it that way? Let's proceed with this. Let's proceed with this method. You can do it that way too. You can measure this because this is actually the roof beam. Okay, this is the concrete fissure. But I want to measure the whole thing as an entity. So I'm going to measure it this way. If you want to measure the roof beam separately, there's plugin for measuring roof beam. You just use that plugin to measure the roof beam. Then you now use this particular method now to measure the concrete fissure. Yeah, I'm going to make use of that arc feature on PLANSWIFT. So whenever you want to measure over an arc this way, what you do is that you hold on A on your keyboard, you click on the midpoint of the arc, and you leave that A and click on the end point of the arc. Okay, sorry. You click on what's it called? You hold down on A, click on the start point, click on the midpoint, and you leave that A. Then you click on the end of the arc, so you have your arc measured. So if you get, let me redo it. Whenever I want to measure over an arc this way, you hold A, you click on the start point of the arc. I'm coming. Let me zoom out. You click on the midpoint, then you leave A. Sorry, something is wrong. Hold on A, zoom in, click on the start point of the arc, click on the midpoint, leave A, and you click on the end of the arc. So you have your arc measured. Was click on the end point and you have your arc measured. Perfect arc, perfect measurement. Okay, then you click on escape. So with this, we're done with measurements of concrete, but what we have here is the area. So I'm going to multiply the area by the let's go to our take of summary by the what do you call, by the perimeter I measured the other time. So this is our perimeter. The perimeter here is 68.7.4768.74, 68.74, and this is my concrete 0.14. So I'm going to add this particular measurement to this. How I'm going to do that? I mean, how can I achieve that? I can achieve this by clicking on what I want to apply, actually multiply this by is 68.74, and what we have here is 0.14. 68. Please take note of this value, 68.74. Click on concrete, advance, take off quantity. Click on this, click on this multiplication sign, and we'll input the perimeter 68.74. Then we click on, oh sorry, before then change this unit to cubic meter, cubic meter, cubic meter. Then click on OK. So we have our concrete measured. The next item here is our formwork. I want to measure the formwork and reinforcement in the next video. I don't want this video to be too long. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.